director of Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, Heavenly Creatures, Forgotten Silver, The Frighteners, Lord of the Rings, Two Towers, Return of the King, King Kong, The Lovely Bones. He's got a bag full of Oscars, but one of his favorite honors is being crowned the Geek God by the New York Times. Please help me welcome a remarkable filmmaker, Mr. Peter Jackson.
Thank you very much, thank you. It's so much better being here than being a talking head on a screen, because I get to see you guys, which is fantastic. All this geek power. I wish you could just take the amount of energy and bottle it and then give it to Hollywood executives to drink. It'd be good. I'm obviously here to introduce District 9, a film I'm very, very proud of. But just before I get underway with that, I know that you're probably going to have a lot of questions about The Hobbit. Like, you're probably going to want to know that, you know, Bilbo Baggins is going to be played by... and I think he's going to be really good. No, I just thought because we get going with District 9, I'd give you a little bit of an update on The Hobbit. We're about, because everything's a process, it's a pipeline, and we're about 3 or 4 weeks away from delivering our first draft of the script of the first movie to Warner Brothers. Because the film's not green-lit yet. You know, we have to submit a script, the studio have to read the script and like it, and then once we have a script, we can then do a budget, and we have to figure out how much the films are going to cost, and the studio have to then agree and green-light the movie. But I know that there's a lot of speculation about casting and who's playing different roles, and I just want to be able to say, because it may avoid some of the questions later on, that, you know, we haven't got to the stage that we can offer anybody a role yet, because obviously we have to be green-lit, we have to have the authority to be able to make offers to actors, we have to be able to give them a schedule of when we want them to work and how long they need to work for. And obviously, actors are going to want to read a script, so we have to have a script ready for them. So we're still about 3 or 4 weeks away from delivering that draft, and then we can start the process of the budget, and eventually, probably in about 2 months, is when we're going to be able to actually start to offer people roles. So despite everything you might have read and all the gossip and everything else, they literally, honestly, have not offered anybody a role in the film at this stage. We are doing 2 movies, just to clarify that The Hobbit, because one of the things which is interesting is, as you know, obviously Tolkien wrote The Hobbit first in 1936, and then about 20 years later he published Lord of the Rings, and he had expanded and developed the world of Middle-earth way bigger and larger and more detailed than he knew about when he wrote The Hobbit, and he did a lot of retrospective detailing. So The Lord of the Rings, the novel, contains a lot of information about what was happening during the years of The Hobbit and events that were happening outside of that particular storyline, but, you know, things that were happening behind the scenes in Middle-earth and the geopolitics and things. And so Tolkien never got to combine that together in one book. But one of the things we were really excited about when we got to be thinking about it is we can take that expanded information that he developed later on, and we can apply it to The Hobbit and sort of make it fuller and more epic, and sort of really put The Hobbit in the context of the greater activity that's happening in Middle-earth at that time. So to do all that, and we figured that we really need 2 epic films to be able to really tell that story. So that's the plan, just to answer and clarify that. I just wanted to clear a couple of things up.
All right, a couple easy questions to warm up. Neither of you have been at Comic-Con before. If you had come back in the day, what sort of costumes might you have worn? If it's Princess Leia, just say so. This is a circle of trust.
Well, I'd want to wear something that I could go shopping in, so I could go buy some cool stuff. So I do have a Stormtrooper's costume at home, and I think next time I come, I'm going to bring that, so I can go shopping. I mean, my biggest regret this time at Comic-Con is the fact that I can't go buy cool collectibles, which I would so badly like to do.
I'll come as Peter Jackson next time.
Good.
We'll sign a lot of autographs.
All right.
Make a lot of deals.
All right, one more warm-up question. You guys, I am sure, have big personal collections of movies at home. What are some titles that you watch over and over again to be inspired the way people here watch your movies?
Shall I answer?
Sure.
Well, I find that there's some movies that really give me a kind of a creative kick, and I certainly have found when I feel a bit uninspired, and your imagination, which is like a muscle, and I just figure, God, I'm not thinking, or I'm not as imaginative as I want to be. I actually put Goodfellas and Casino on. Because something about those particular movies and the way that Marty Scorsese kind of just fearlessly rockets his camera around and has shot those films, I can watch those movies and feel inspired again and come out of that wanting to get back onto a film set.
All right.
Just as a very simple example.
Good. James?
So what do I get inspired by?
Yeah, what do you watch?
Honestly, I don't like to look at movies when I'm making a movie, or when I'm trying to think about a movie. What I'll do, it's sort of more like looking at all movies. So I'll just sort of mindlessly surf the cable late at night because I think if I pre-select, in a sense, I'm already making a decision about what influence I want, and I really don't want to be strongly influenced by anything.
Right.
At this point, I want the decisions that I make to be specific to the situation and the characters, and the camera move should be somehow organic to that. Although it's funny, when I was making Aliens in England, there was a show called The Edge of Darkness that was on BBC, and the camera moves were phenomenal, and I was madly taking notes, and I'd go in the next day and try to use some of them.
Right.
And I met the director years later, Martin Campbell. And I said, man, I tried to do some of those camera moves. They were insane. He said, yeah, we did it with a 16mm camera. And we were working with a camera this big.
Right. How did you guys first meet? And at what point did you each think, I love this guy, he is as crazy as I am? When did you
didn't
first
have
talk?
to meet him to think that.
Let's take it easy. This is Keith Abacary. I'm so parched. Can I get a drink real quick? I'm so sorry. I've been walking around for like 2 days. I'm just dying. Thank you so much. I thought it was part of the act. Can I finish my drink?
Is he a friend of yours? I think he's a friend of Jim's. He's all right. I hope they don't. I hope they don't roughen up too badly at the back there. That's interesting. What was the question again?
I have no idea.
And then we got together when because we were thinking about shooting King Kong in 3D at one stage, very early in pre-production, and we
It was after the Oscars.
Right.
And then I was getting hoping to get to meet him. It was literally the day after the Oscars when you guys won, every Academy Award. And I talked to you the day before, and he said, yeah, I can meet you at your office at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I said, you're not going to be up at 9 o'clock, because you're still going to be up at 6 o'clock celebrating, because you're going to win every Oscar there is. And he said, he sort of, huffed humbly about that. And I said, no, man, why don't we plan on meeting about 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, because that's when you're going to wake up.
Yes.
Okay, so when did you get to